Hello everyone. Welcome to the CSAT weekly series of LevelUp IAS. So as you know that we are doing previous year questions and that too topic wise. Today we are going to start with the topic of geometry and mensuration. And firstly, we will again analyze how many questions are there of this topic. Then we will see what is the level of difficulty of the question. So the first thing is that questions have not been asked every year. In some year there have been years in which not even one question have been asked, although there also have been 1 year where 4 questions were asked. So there is a little bit of inconsistency when it comes to the topic, but at the same time I will say that the questions that are being asked are very easy. They are on the same lines as you just need to know the basic formulas. ऐसे कोई बहुत ज्यादा इफ यू वांट कि सिलेंडर का और स्फीयर का रेशियो एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, इतना ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेशन नहीं आया है इन एनी ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस, राइट? सो जो क्वेश्चंस हैं दे आर ऑफ बेसिक लेवल ओनली. द ओनली कैच इज दैट समटाइम्स द क्वेश्चंस कम एंड समटाइम्स द क्वेश्चन do not come of this topic. So it is not a very consistent topic कि every year इसका एक question आएगा ही आएगा. That is not really true, right? So firstly we'll just see in how many questions have been asked and in what years. So in 2024 there was one question that was asked, right? Also I would like to repeat this, that जो question पूछे जा रहे हैं they are all based on PYQs only. कोई ऐसा नया concept जो है every year UPSC is not putting in a new geometry concept in your exam, right? तो जितने भी क्वेश्चन हैं वो भी एनालाइज करेंगे कि वो किस लाइंस पे पूछे जा रहे हैं, बट जितने भी क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं दे आर ईदर ऑन द लाइंस ऑफ कन्वर्जन और ऑन द लाइंस ऑफ फ्रॉम दिस बिग एरिया हाउ मेनी स्मॉल एरिया ऑब्जेक्ट्स यू कैन गेट, लाइक दैट. ठीक है? सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज you have the first question with you. Consider the following and you have to see 1000 liters is equal to these many meter cube, 1 metric ton is equal to 1000 kgs and so on. So basically this is a question of conversion. And you can see that this question was asked in CSAT 2024 and only one question was asked. Next, moving on to 2023, geometry mensuration question directly was not asked. Moving on to 22. ठीक है, 22 में again one question has been asked. It is this कि आपसे statement देके दो statement पूछे गए हैं. You have to tell which of the following statements is true. And question भी आप देख सकते हो. Question is that you have a rectangular sheet of length this and this, and is it possible to cut the sheet into 4 square? Then is it possible to cut the sheet into 10 rectangles? That is one big sheet. उसके डायमेंशंस गिवन है, फिर पूछा है कि हम 4 स्क्वायर्स में कट कर सकते हैं या नहीं, 10 ट्रायंगल्स ऑफ इक्वल एरिया में कट कर सकते हैं या नहीं, राइट? सो दिस वाज द क्वेश्चन ऑफ 2022, राइट? मूविंग ऑन टू CSAT 2021. One question was asked. Now you see this question again. A cubical vessel of side 1 meter is filled completely with water. How many milliliters of water is contained in it? So 1 meter वेसल की लेंथ आपको गिवन है, क्यूबिकल वेसल की, एंड आपसे पूछा है कितने मिलीलीटर वाटर होगा. सो मीटर, अब आप ये देखोगे इसमें क्या है, मीटर टू मिलीलीटर कन्वर्जन, राइट? एंड 2024 में देखें, मीटर वॉल्यूम में मीटर क्यूब हो जाएगा. 2024 में सेम मीटर क्यूब से लीटर में कन्वर्जन. सो मीटर क्यूब टू मिलीलीटर, मीटर क्यूब टू लीटर, this is the conversion. Same question is asked again, right? So again, as I was saying, when you analyze you will see that जो question पूछे गए हैं they are not कि एकदम बिल्कुल new question या new concept पे पूछ लिया. Although they can be asked, new concepts can also be asked. So you should be aware of basics of geometry and mensuration, basics of conversion, how do you have to convert into various SI units. So ये सब आना चाहिए. And at the same time geometry में mainly what is the area of various 2-dimensional figures, volume of 3-dimensional figures and area of 3-dimensional figures. That's it. इतने में you will be able to do the exam. ठीक है? Then you have CSAT 2020 का question है. After 21, you can see that 2020 में भी question has been asked. 23 में there was no question asked directly, right? So CSAT 2020 में XY volume है, M and masses है. Now क्या होता है कि masses से we are not that aware. Mass of a cube, cuboid or whatever the object is. Since masses are majorly a scientific term, right? Mass क्या है, volume क्या है, comparison, ये सब साइंस में ज्यादा यूज होता है, फिजिक्स की टर्म्स है, एंड हम लोग इतने अवेयर नहीं होते उन टर्म्स से. सो स्टूडेंट्स गेट स्केयर्ड व्हेन दे रीड दिस क्वेश्चन कि वॉल्यूम भी पूछ लिया, मास भी पूछ लिया, मास का तो फॉर्मूला ही नहीं पता, डेंसिटी ये सब क्या होता है ये सब तो पता ही नहीं. बट वंस यू विल रीड द क्वेश्चन यू विल सी दैट क्वेश्चन में मास का फॉर्मूला नहीं चाहिए, नथिंग इज नीडेड, you will be able to do this. So one thing for this question is that even when you have कि mass is this, don't get scared because of that. ठीक है. So you can see that volume है, masses है of P and Q respectively, then कुछ और values given है, U and V है, you have to compare U is equal to 4V, V is equal to U and so on. This is the comparison that you have to draw. That is comparison between U and V. We will see how to do this question. Abhi, after analyzing, we will discuss each and every question as we always do. So again, in CSAT 2018 also, one question has been asked, but you will see in 2019 question nahi hai. Similarly, 2017 question nahi hai, right? 2018 में क्या पूछा गया है? 12 squares are placed to fit in a rectangle of diagonal 5 centimeter. So 5 centimeter का एक rectangle है, diagonal 5 centimeter है, and उसमें 12 squares fit किए गए हैं, and no gaps are left. What is the area of each square? तो आपसे square का area पूछा है. Again, ये क्या किया? You are dividing a rectangle into 12 squares. Previous question में question was asked whether you can divide this rectangle into 4 squares, divide this rectangle into 8 squares, divide this rectangle into 10 triangles. This was also one of the question. So वैसे ही similar lines पे this is the question. Now in CSAT 2016, 4 questions are asked. So you will see that this is not a very consistent number, right? First of all, I cannot say that every year a question has been asked. Although in the latest trends, apart from 2023, questions were asked every year. But I cannot say for sure. At the same time, we know that जो भी question पूछे गए हैं, in some years, they are like 2016 में 4 questions also. So this is not something जिसके trend आप predict कर सकते हो, right? For example, if I have, let's say I say, ये एक bar graph है, ठीक है? So in 2024, 2 questions were asked. In 2023, 3 questions of any topic A, ठीक है? किसी topic पर. In 2023, 3 questions were asked. In 22, again 2 questions were asked. In 21, 4 questions were asked. You can say that at least you can tell about the range that 2 to 4 questions are being asked, right? But what if the range is so unpredictable कि you have in 24, 1 question, 23, no question, 22, again 1 question, 21, 1 question, 20, 1 question, 19, no question, 18, 1, 17, 1, ठीक है? 16, 4 questions. So इसका आप कैसे predict करोगे, right? So this is a little bit unpredictable because you also know that 0 भी आ रहा है, ठीक है? So this graph, as you can see, the graph of geometry questions is a bit unpredictable, right? But on an average, or if you have to get an idea, let's say, so 1 to 2 questions, 1 question at least can be asked easily, and 4 questions ka to we cannot say, right? So this is the basic trend of geometry and mensuration. Now we will move on to the discussion of question. So we have seen every year how many questions have been asked. एंड ऑल्सो यू हैव सीन लेंथ ऑफ क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो, कि ऐसे बहुत लंबे लेंथी क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछे गए हैं. मेजरली दिस इज द स्टैंडर्ड लेंथ ऑफ द क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो. ठीक है, सो नाउ वी विल चेक आउट द लेवल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी. So you will also observe that in questions of geometry, when you have questions like इस rectangle में कितने triangles fit हो सकते हैं and so on, when you will have such questions, majorly in these questions ना थोड़ा reasoning also gets involved. Okay, so now CSAT 2024 का question है again. You simply had to know the conversions, but why were these units being asked? Now analysis में we ask ourselves, why this question? 1000 liters is equal to 1 meter cube. This is for volume. These are the two major units that we use to measure volume, right? So आप वॉल्यूम जब मेजर करते हो तो आप वो लीटर्स में मेजर करते हो. मोस्ट कॉमनली यू ईदर से 2 liters ऑफ मिल्क, 2 this ऑफ मिल्क, या फिर मीटर क्यूब में मेजर किया जाता है, राइट, व्हेन द डायमेंशंस आर डिफरेंट. ओके, सो फॉर एग्जांपल आप एक क्यूबिकल, लेट्स से आप एक क्यूबिकल हो, इस रूम की वॉल्यूम आप मेजर करोगे, क्यूबिकल रूम की, राइट, क्यूबॉइडल रूम की. सो वो आप लीटर्स में नहीं, वो आप मीटर क्यूब में या किलोमीटर क्यूब में, इफ इट इज अ लार्ज फील्ड और लार्ज रूम और सो ऑन, सो आप वो मीटर क्यूब में मेजर करते हैं, राइट. सो दैट इज द डिफरेंस. एंड ये जो है ये वॉल्यूम को मेजर करने के सबसे कॉमन यूनिट्स है. एंड इफ यू नो द बेसिक ऑफ कन्वर्जन, 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. There is no particular conversion for this. कैसे convert करते हैं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Just like you know the conversion of meter to kilometer, कि 1 kilometer is equal to what? 1000 meter. ठीक है, अब इसको प्रूव करने का कुछ वो नहीं है, इसको सॉल्व करने का या कोई मेथड नहीं है. These are just units of conversion which you should be aware of, because यूपीएससी इस पे ऑलरेडी 21 में भी क्वेश्चन पूछ चुकी है. सो 21 में भी वॉल्यूम रिलेटेड पूछा था. 24 में क्या किया? वन पार्ट इज वॉल्यूम रिलेटेड. 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. Two very common units to measure volume. This is true. Then 1 metric ton is equal to 1000 kgs. अब आपने देखा होगा when you measure weight also, तो वेट हम क्या बोलते हैं? कितने टन है या कितने केजी है. वेट को मेजर करने के टू मोस्ट कॉमन यूनिट्स, केजी एंड टन. वो भी पूछा है. 1 metric ton is 1000 kg. This is also correct. And 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 meter cube. This is also correct. अब ये क्या है? एरिया की डायमेंशन. एरिया भी जब हम मेजर करते हैं तो मोस्ट कॉमनली क्या होता है? या तो हेक्टेयर्स में होता है या मीटर स्क्वायर में होता है, राइट. सो दीज आर द मेजर कन्वर्जन्स ऑफ mensuration in your question that was asked. So all of these three are correct and option D 1, 2, 3 was supposed to be the answer. ठीक है, सो इससे क्या पता चलता है कि एरिया का, वॉल्यूम का, वेट का और एनी अदर यूनिट्स के जो मेजर कॉमन यूनिट्स होते हैं मेजर करने के, एनी अदर डायमेंशन को या किसी ऑब्जेक्ट को, सो यू हैव टू यू शुड नो द बेसिक्स ऑफ इट, कि वॉल्यूम को मेजर करने के कौन से व्हाट आर द यूनिट्स यू कैन यूज टू मेजर वॉल्यूम, और वो दो यूनिट्स के बीच में रिलेशन क्या होता है, राइट. सो यूपीएससी ने वॉल्यूम रिलेटेड 21 में पहले ही पूछ लिया था. 24 में यूपीएससी ने वॉल्यूम रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन भी पूछ लिया. देन इन वन क्वेश्चन ओनली वेट रिलेटेड भी एंड एरिया रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन वाज आल्सो आस्क्ड. ठीक है, सो आंसर फॉर दिस वाज ऑप्शन डी 1, 2 and 3. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू 2022. Consider the following statements in respect of a rectangular sheet of length 20 and breadth 8. So this is a rectangular sheet with me. Length is 20, breadth is 8 centimeter. It is possible to cut the sheet into exactly 4 square sheets. नाउ देख यहां पर क्या प्रॉब्लम, अब फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन अगेन कोई ऐसा फॉर्मूला नहीं है कि हाँ आपने ऐसे फिट करनी है। ये क्या हुआ, ये आपकी रीजनिंग चेक कर रहा है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई आस्क यू, आप इसको 2 में डिवाइड करो, तो यू कैन डिवाइड लाइक दिस ऑल्सो, यू कैन डिवाइड लाइक दिस ऑल्सो, हाफ में करके, ठीक है। सो ऐसे ही आपको चेक करना है वेदर यू कैन कट द शीट इनटू एग्जैक्टली 4 स्क्वायर शीट्स। Also, remember one thing, when they have told you exactly 4 square sheets, that means UPSC wants you to give 4 squares. 4 squares can be different as well. For example, 1 square, 2 square, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these are also 4 squares. ऐसा तो कहीं नहीं लिखा स्टेटमेंट में कि squares should be of equal area, squares should have equal length, right? None of that is mentioned. So it is possible to cut the sheet into exactly 4 square sheets. So for this question, we will use a little hit and trial also, and we will see whether it is possible or not. Firstly, I know that this is 8 and this is 20. If I want 4 square sheets, this side is 8. Can I say 8 and one more 8? So this will give me 16, right? This is 1 square, 8 and 8. So this is a square, 8 and 8. This is a square. So मैंने ये शीट को ऐसे 2 स्क्वायर्स में काट लिया. Now I am left with this rectangle where this length is 4 and this length is 8. Now if you want to make it into 2 squares, obviously you divide this length into 2. So what will you have? 4, 4, 4, 4. Square number 1, square number 2, square number 3 and square number 4. So is it possible to divide this rectangular sheet into 4 squares? Yes, it is possible. Also, agar you would have also tried this question on your own, so the only mistake which students made in this was they assumed that 4 squares should be equal. So they said no, it is not possible. But ऐसा कुछ नहीं लिखा है. So when you consider that 4 squares can be different as well, equal होना is not compulsory, then you can easily solve this, right? So always stick to what the question is asking, and एक बार once you make any assumption, please read कि वो assumption actually valid है या नहीं, question में वो assumption से related कोई statement है या नहीं, ठीक है? So do not make assumptions on your own. Whatever information is given in the question, we will use only that. So again, so I know statement 1 is correct, it is possible. Now statement 2. It is possible to cut the sheet into 10 triangular sheets of equal area. Okay, ये question है 10 triangular sheets of equal area. First of all, how can you get 2 triangles of equal area? If I divide like this, okay, now I can get 2 triangles of equal area, triangle 1, triangle 2, right? So that means I know that if you have a rectangle and you join it diagonally, you will get 2 triangles. They will be of equal area. But how many triangles I want? I want 10 triangles. One rectangle say, you can get 2 triangles. But I want 10 triangles. So can I say I want 5 rectangles? If I will have 5 rectangles, then I can easily get 10 triangles. जो भी rectangle होगा उसको diagonally join कर देना. So I want 5. I want this 5 rectangles, right? This is 20 and this is 8. Now, if you want 5 rectangles, 20 divided by 5. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. ऐसे 4 centimeters के rectangle में divide कर दें, so that all rectangles are equal. Now you join them diagonally. See 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And all triangles will have equal area because सब triangles की dimension same है. Base is 4 and this height is 8. Right? So इतना easy question था. Again, as I said, that in these kind of questions, majorly you need to put a little bit of logical reasoning also here. ठीक है? So is it possible? Second statement is also possible. So my answer will be option C, both. My answer will be option C, both 1 and 2. Yes, it is possible to cut this also, and it is possible to cut in 10 triangle sheets also. Right? So now we are done with 2022 question. Moving on to CSAT 2021. Again, one question was there. So see, अभी हमने discuss किया था, and same question is here. A cubical vessel of side 1 meter is filled completely with water. How many milliliters of water is contained? So आपको जो vessel given है, side किस में है? मीटर में. But question is how many milliliters? So question क्या है? When side is in meter, volume is in meter cube. Obviously volume cube में होती है because you will multiply 3 times meter into meter, right? So volume is in meter cube. Question में पूछा है how many milliliters? That means again meter cube को milliliters में करना है. We know what? 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. We have just done this. ठीक है? So we will use that approach only. Now question देखते हैं. सबसे पहले cubical vessel of side 1 meter. Side is 1 meter. Cube का volume क्या होता है? Side cube. So 1 cube. That means 1 meter cube. This is the volume. Now I know 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. I also know 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters. So 1000 liter will be what? 1000 multiply 1000 milliliters. That means 1 meter cube is equal to these many milliliters. Option D will be your answer. Right? So again, this was again a question of conversion only. So let's recall अभी तक जो भी किया है हमने, question of conversion. Then before that, question in which rectangle में से how many squares and triangles can be formed. No particular formula or anything. Then in this question, conversion. ठीक है? So these are the kind of questions that are being asked. Next of CSAT 2020. This is the only question in which I truly felt that yes, you have to do something related to geometry. ठीक है? So x and y भी volumes. x, y क्या है? Volume है. m, n क्या है? Masses है. Of two metallic cubes, P and Q. So you have P, you have Q, volume x, y, and mass m, n. This is the question that you have. Each side of Q is 2 times that of P. So cube है. All of these are cube. ठीक है? P की is okay. Let side of P be S. ठीक है? Each side of Q is 2 times that of P. Then let U is equal to M by X, V is equal to N by Y. Which of the following is correct? ठीक है? So आपको M by X और N by Y में relation बनाना है. Before that, I know S and 2S ये है. So can I say side is, if side is S, another side is 2S, what is volume? Volume is for cube, side cube. Volume of P will be what? S cube. That means X is equal to S cube. Another thing is what? Volume of Q is what? Again, side cube. So side here is 2s. Volume of Q will be 2s cube. That means 8s cube. यहां तक फाइंड आउट कर लिया. ये भी गिवन है. मास ऑफ Q is 2 times that of P. मास ऑफ Q क्या है? N. Already it is given N is equal to 2M. Right? Now I have X and Y in terms of S and N is equal to 2M. अब देखना U क्या हो जाएगा? U is equal to M by X. ठीक है? What is M? M by X ही रहने देते हैं इसको, या X की जगह you can put S cube. ठीक है? This is U. V is equal to what? V is equal to N by Y. N क्या है? 2M divided by Y is 8S cube. So ये कितना हो जाएगा? 1 by 4 M by S cube is equal to what? 1 by 4 M by S cube क्या है? U. 1 by 4 of U. V is equal to 1 by 4 of U. अब if V is equal to 1 by 4 U, that means U is equal to what? 4V. है options में. U is equal to 4B. Option A is my answer. ठीक है? So again, nothing that tough. Although इसमें ये था कि at least you have to form an equation, you have to compare those. Volume का formula पता होना चाहिए cube का. So again, not that difficult, but there was some concept involved. As you see that in the previous years, इतना ज़्यादा conceptual question नहीं पूछा था, right? So let's move on to the next question, that is of CSAT 2018. Now, question क्या है? 12 equal squares are placed to fit in a rectangle of diagonal 5 centimeter. So this is a rectangle. Diagonal is 5 centimeter. 12 equal squares are put and there are 3 rows. So 1, 2 and 3, row 1, row 2 and row 3, containing 4 squares each. So 1, 2, 3, 4 squares each. 3 rows containing 4 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? आपसे पूछा क्या गया? No gaps are left between adjacent squares, so all the squares are together. What is the area of each square? For these questions, you should know कि Pythagorean triplet क्या होता है. ठीक है? कई Pythagorean triplet you should remember. If this is a angle of 90 degree, this is 5. You know this is 3. ठीक है? Then this is 4. 3, 4, 5 is a Pythagorean triplet. यहाँ पर भी ना, when you observe, if this is 5, this is divided into 3 equal squares. Again, this is also divided into 4 equal squares. That means this will be what? 3. This will be what? 4. ठीक है? ये क्या हो गया? Pythagorean triplet. And यहाँ पर this square की length, if this is total is 3, 1 की length क्या होगी? 1. 1 and 1 from each side, right? So if length is 1 here also, 1 here also, so area will be what? Area is side square. 1 square is equal to 1. Option C, 1 square centimeter. This will be your answer. So यहाँ पर ना, majorly the concept you need to know was, if 5 is there, one side can be equally divided into 3 parts, another 4 parts. That means ये obviously क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पर? If इसको दूसरी तरीके से समझने का क्या तरीका है? Let's do that also एक बार, so that you know कि what is Pythagorean triplet. ठीक है? ये 90 डिग्री का एक एंगल है. So this will be the hypotenuse, this is the base and this is the height. ठीक है? 5 and base and height will form a Pythagorean triplet, that is 90 degree के triangle की 3 sides, right? Now this is being divided into 3 equal parts. So ये क्या हुआ, x x x, ये पूरा कितना हो गया 3x. This is being divided into 4 parts. Also we know ये square है, so that means if this is x, this is also x, this is also x, ये भी x है, ये भी x है, तो ये कितना हो गया 4x. Now that means आपके पास ये एक ट्राइंगल है, ठीक है, ये 5 है, ये 3x है, ये 4x है, ठीक है. ट्राइंगल राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल है, सो आई नो 5 स्क्वायर इज व्हाट 4x स्क्वायर प्लस 3x स्क्वायर. x की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करनी है. इन जनरल इफ यू नो कि 5 3 4 इज दी Pythagorean triplet, then you can easily say x is 1. But if you don't know, then 5 square is equal to 4x square 3x square. That means 25 is equal to what? 16x square plus 9x square. 25 is equal to 25x square. तो x की वैल्यू क्या आ गई 1, बिकॉज -1 नहीं हो सकता, साइड है तो साइड हैज टू बी अ पॉजिटिव वैल्यू. सो साइड क्या हो गई 1, राइट? And if side of square x is equal to 1, area of square will be 1 square. So option C, 1 square centimeter is your answer. So this was for CSAT 2018. Then in 2017, question was not asked directly. 2016 पे चलते हैं. And in this, यहाँ पे क्या है? A piece of tin is in the form of a rectangle having length 12 centimeter, width 8 centimeter. So let's say this is a rectangle with us. Length of the rectangle is 12 centimeter, width is 8 centimeter. This is used to construct a closed cube. ठीक है? Side of the cube is what? Whenever you have a question like this, you have to observe कि क्या चीज will remain same. So for example, if you have this paper with you, let's say I have this paper with me. Even if I fold it like this, even if I make a cylinder out of it, okay, now area will remain same. Earlier this was a rectangle, so no volume of it. But if I am folding it like this, area will remain same. This is the area. ये sheet का area तो same रह रहा है, right? So similarly, if you have a rectangle and you are folding it in some way, and let's say you are forming a cube like this, ठीक है, you are folding it and you are forming a cube. तो आप इसी शीट से क्यूब बना रहे हो. जब आप वो क्यूब को ओपन करोगे तो you will get this sheet again. That means area will still remain the same. So this is the concept that you have to use in these questions. Let's say this is a rectangle 12 and 8. Area of rectangle will be equal to area of cube formed. ठीक है, बिकॉज उसी शीट से बना रहे हो आप, तो वो शीट का एरिया है, दैट विल बी द एरिया ऑफ क्यूब. दैट मीन्स व्हाट? तो एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल इज इक्वल टू एरिया ऑफ क्यूब. दिस मीन्स एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल इज व्हाट? लेंथ मल्टीप्लाई ब्रेथ. दिस इज व्हाट? 12 मल्टीप्लाई 8 इज इक्वल टू एरिया ऑफ क्यूब. अच्छा, एरिया ऑफ क्यूब क्या होता है? आई नो एरिया ऑफ वन साइड इज व्हाट? साइड मल्टीप्लाई साइड. So side square of one side. One side of the cube एक square हो जाएगा. Side multiply sides, one square, side square. And how many sides do you have? How many faces do you have? 6. So area of cube is equal to 6 side square. यहाँ पर भी I will say 6 side square. 12, 2, 8 to 16. 16 is equal to side square. So side is equal to 4. Understood? So option C, 4 centimeter, this will be your answer. Again, you can see that यहाँ पर still the concept of geometry and concept of area, and if you have a sheet, if you fold it, then same will be formed. अच्छा, there is one more question. Let's say you have an iron क्यूब. ठीक है, 1 आयरन क्यूब. You are melting it and you are forming spheres, spherical ball. ठीक है? Now if you have to see what will remain same, let's say you have an iron cube, ये इसकी कुछ वॉल्यूम है, इसमें जो मेटल की वॉल्यूम है आप इसको आयरन क्यूब को मेल्ट कर दोगे तो इसमें जो मेटल आएगा उसी से आप स्फेरिकल बॉल फॉर्म कर रहे हो. ठीक है? सो दैट मीन्स व्हाट यू आर डूइंग इज वॉल्यूम इज रिमेनिंग सेम. ठीक है? इमेजिन जैसे हमारे पास प्ले डो होता है ना, क्ले बोलते हैं, या फिर घर में व्हेन यू हैव आटा आल्सो, सो आप सेम एक स्फेरिकल बॉल बना रहे हो, उसी से आप सेम उस बॉल को आयरन की शेप में बना रहे हो, राइट? या फिर उस बॉल को सॉरी आयरन की स्फीयर की शेप में बना रहे हो, उसी से क्यूब शेप में बना रहे हो, तो वो जो उसका क्वांटिटी है, क्वांटिटी ऑफ द डो, दैट रिमेन्स सेम, राइट? दैट मीन्स क्या हो रहा है? वॉल्यूम इज रिमेनिंग सेम. सो इफ यू हैव अ क्वेश्चन कि एक ऑब्जेक्ट है उसको मेल्ट कर दिया, दूसरा ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया, तो यू विल से वॉल्यूम 1 इज इक्वल टू वॉल्यूम ऑफ दिस ऑब्जेक्ट. ठीक है? दैट इज द की हेयर इन दीज क्वेश्चन. यहां पर क्या था? पेपर से, शीट से क्यूब बनाया, तो वो शीट से क्यूब बनाया तो एरिया ऑफ द शीट विल रिमेन द सेम. नाउ you have next question of 2016, which is what? An agriculture field is in the form of a rectangle having length x1 meter and breadth x2 meter. x1 and x2 are variable. If x1 plus x2 is 40, area of agriculture field will not exceed which one of the following values? So you know that x1 plus x2 is equal to 40. एरिया क्या होता है? दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन वेयर ज्योमेट्री का कंसेप्ट तो इन्वॉल्व है ही है, एट द सेम टाइम यू शुड नो लिटिल बिट ऑफ इक्वेशंस एज वेल. सो हमने ये एवरेजेस में भी किया हुआ है that when you have sum of two numbers is equal to let's say 40, you want कि ये averages में या number system में there was this question in which two numbers were multiplied, maximum value was 225 because both the numbers we took to be 15, right? There were four unique numbers, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have done this in PYQs of previous topics. So हमने क्या किया था? हमने वो दोनों नंबर 15 और 15 माने थे. Why? Because we know that the closer the number get, the maximum it is for the maximum product will become. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे भी same concept used है. So I'll show this to you with the help of an example also. You have x1 plus x2 is equal to 40. Area is what? x1 multiply x2. This is the area. Sum 40 है, प्रोडक्ट को मैक्सिमाइज करना है. लेट्स से मैं x1 को 1 मान लेती हूँ एंड x2 को 39. देन एरिया विल बी व्हाट? 1 multiply 39 is equal to 39 only this much. If I take x1 is equal to 2 and x2 is equal to 38, then area will be what? 1 multiply 38, 76. एरिया इंक्रीज हो रहा है. 2 multiply 38, 76. You can see that जैसे जैसे ये वैल्यूज क्लोज आएंगी, 3 plus 37, 76 से greater than 76. As soon as the more closer the values get, maximum will be the product. So let's say if you take x1 is equal to 10 and x2 is equal to 30, तो प्रोडक्ट क्या होगा? x1 multiply x2. This will be what? 300. So if I want that value should be maximum, so हम क्या करेंगे? x1 और x2 को as close as possible. As close as possible क्या हो गया? When x1 is equal to x2, they cannot get closer than this, right? दो numbers close होने चाहिए. That means equal हो जाएंगे. So 20 multiply 20, 400. This is your maximum value and the area cannot exceed this value. Okay, all right. So moving on to the next question of 2016. अब इस क्वेश्चन में क्या है, अगेन सो देयर इज दिस थिंग विच आई एम ऑब्जर्विंग इज, पहले जो क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते थे उसमें ज्योमेट्री के ज्यादा कंसेप्ट्स होते थे, right now we have seen that questions that were asked in rectangle fit triangle, and then what is the conversion method, conversion कितने units को कैसे convert करना है, that. But you will see in previous question also there was an application, in this one also you should know कि if sheet is turned then area remains same, right? ये सब है. And in this question also there is application of geometry. So question is, AB is a vertical trunk of a huge tree, A being the point where base of trunk touches the ground. A being the point where base touches the ground. Due to the cyclone, so ये vertical trunk है AB, ठीक है? A point है जहां पर ये ground पे touch हो रहा है. Due to a cyclone, the trunk has been broken at C. So C point पर ये टूट गया, and which is at a height of 12 meters. So C point क्या है? At height of 12 meters. Broken part is partially attached to the vertical portion of the trunk at C if end of broken part B touches the ground. So क्या हुआ, ये ट्री ऐसे टूट के थोड़ा सा partially attached है, and the part top head that is point B, ये वाला head touches the ground at D. ठीक है? So ये ट्री जो था बीच में से टूट गया and ये D पे ग्राउंड पे टच कर रहा है, right? So which is at a distance of 5 meters from A. So ये 5 meters के डिस्टेंस पे है. This is the question कि original height of the trunk is what? Again you see, if this is a tree, ये एक ट्री है, ठीक है? यहां से टूट गया and this part is touching the ground. That means now length of tree is what? This plus this. यही तो है ना ट्री. ये अर्लियर, ये वो लेंथ है जो ग्राउंड के साथ अटैच्ड है, ये वो लेंथ है जो फॉलन डाउन, ब्रोकन पार्ट, ठीक है? सो विच इज एट अ डिस्टेंस ऑफ 5 मीटर फ्रॉम द ग्राउंड. सो दिस इज 12, दिस इज 5. नेक्स्ट आपसे पूछा क्या है? ओरिजिनल हाइट ऑफ द ट्रंक. सो फॉर दिस फर्स्टली वी हैव टू फाइंड CD. CD कैसे निकालते हैं? यू नो दिस इज व्हाट? 90 डिग्री. दिस इज अ राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल. CD स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू AC स्क्वायर plus AD square. Pythagoras theorem. So CD square is what? 12 square plus 5 square. Also, as I told you previously also, some Pythagorean triplets you should remember. For example, 5, 4, 3, 6, 8, 10. And you have 13, 12, 5. This is another Pythagorean triplet. राइट. सो ये थोड़े से जो बेसिक पाइथागोरियन ट्रिपलेट्स हैं ये याद होने चाहिए. सो हेयर ऑल्सो इफ यू वुड हैव आस्क्ड मी, आई वुड हैव डायरेक्टली रिटन 13 बिकॉज आई नो दैट 5, 12, 13 इज अ ट्रिपलेट. ठीक है? CD, बट यू कैन फाइंड आउट ऑल्सो. CD स्क्वायर इज व्हाट? 12 स्क्वायर 144 प्लस 5 स्क्वायर 25 169. दिस मीन्स CD इज इक्वल टू 13, राइट? So if CD is 13, but question में क्या पूछा? Original height of the trunk. Original height क्या है? AC 12 plus 13, because tree तो ये पूरा था ना. Original height was this one. This is 12. This is 13. Original height will be what? 25. So option B, 25 will be your answer. Okay. Moving on to the next question. A cylindrical overhead tank of radius 2 meter. So cylindrical tank है, radius है 2 meter, height is 7 meter, is to be filled from an underground tank of size 5.5, 4 and 6. अब imagine आपके पास एक cylindrical tank है, एक क्यूबॉइडल टैंक है. आप उस टैंक से उस टैंक में वाटर ट्रांसफर कर रहे हो. दैट मीन्स व्हाट आर यू फिलिंग? यू आर फिलिंग वॉल्यूम. ठीक है? हाउ मच पोर्शन ऑफ द अंडरग्राउंड टैंक is still filled with water? आफ्टर फिलिंग द ओवरहेड टैंक कंप्लीटली। तो सिलेंड्रिकल ओवरहेड टैंक को आपने कंप्लीटली फिल कर दिया, सो उसके लिए आई शुड नो वॉल्यूम ऑफ द टैंक। सिलेंड्रिकल टैंक की वॉल्यूम क्या है? पाई आर स्क्वायर एच। So this will be what? 22/7. I am assuming pi as 22/7 because height is 7. So my calculations will be easier. R square is 2 square into 7. This is the volume of cylinder. 88 88 मीटर क्यूब। अच्छा, अब ये वॉल्यूम आप फिल किससे कर रहे हो? यू आर फिलिंग दिस विद दिस टैंक। वॉल्यूम ऑफ टैंक क्या है? व्हाट इज द टोटल वॉल्यूम ऑफ टैंक? 5.5, so 5/10। वॉल्यूम ऑफ क्यूबॉइड क्या होती है? लेंथ इंटू ब्रेथ इंटू हाइट। तो 5/10 मल्टीप्लाई 4 मल्टीप्लाई 6, दिस विल बी व्हाट? 5 2 11 2 2 12 मल्टीप्लाई 11 इज व्हाट? 132। ठीक है, सो सिलेंडर की वॉल्यूम 88 है, टैंक की वॉल्यूम है 132। ठीक है, सो दैट मीन्स हाउ मच हैव यू फिल्ड? You have filled 88 out of 132. This will be what? 11 8 11 12 4 2 4 3. So 2/3 फिल कर दिया। एक टैंक में से 2/3 वॉल्यूम निकाल के फिल कर दिया। So what is left? Volume left will be what? 1 minus 2/3. So 1/3. This will be my answer. ठीक है, so the volume that is left will be option A, 1/3. Again, यहाँ पर question was of volume, so you should know the volume of cylindrical tank. You should know how to find out volume of a cylinder. You should know formula for volume of cuboid also. ठीक है, so again a question of typical area volume geometry question. So in 2016 questions that were asked were based on general concept. ठीक है, now moving on to question of 2015. See, again ये question क्या है? In a plane, line X is perpendicular to line Y. Then you have parallel to line Z. X is perpendicular to Y, parallel to Z. U is perpendicular to both lines V and W. X is perpendicular to line V. In these cases, what we do? सबसे पहले आप एक plane assume कर लो, ये रहा। ठीक है, x is perpendicular to y, so if x is this, y is this. Okay, this is x and y. Because एक line है, आप उसको extend करोगे तो obviously it will touch and it will be perpendicular. I am drawing it like this so that I can know which lines belong to which group. इस plane में कौन सी x के साथ है, कौन सी y के साथ है. Next, x is perpendicular to y, parallel to z. So that means this is what? X is parallel to z, so z is also a line like this. ठीक है, next u is perpendicular to both v and w. So u एक another line है which is perpendicular to both v and w. But अभी हमें यही नहीं पता कि u ऐसे होगा या ऐसे होगा, because इस plane के according we do not know the relation, right? So that's why सबसे पहले we want to find the relation between u, v, w. Sorry, x and another one. Line x is perpendicular to v. That means if x is like this, v कैसा होगा? ये. So that x is perpendicular to v. Now u is perpendicular. अब इस पे आ जाओ. U is perpendicular to both v and w. So u will be like this. U perpendicular to v, u perpendicular to w also. W will be like this. ऐसे हो गया. अब देखो क्वेश्चन क्या है? Which of the following statements is correct? Z, U, W are parallel. No, Z, U are parallel, but W is not parallel. So you have to see कौन सी lines एक ग्रुप में belong करती है. देखो X, Z, U parallel है. Next Y, V, W parallel है. ये देखो Y, V, W. These are parallel lines. So यहाँ पे है option D. Y, V, W are parallel. This will be your answer. ठीक है, इतना ही था इस क्वेश्चन में. So you can see that geometry के questions बेसिक एरिया का फॉर्मूला ऑफ 2-डायमेंशनल फिगर एज वेल एज 3-डायमेंशनल फिगर, वॉल्यूम का फॉर्मूला ऑफ 3-डायमेंशनल फिगर्स, एंड देन हाउ टू कन्वर्ट वेरियस यूनिट्स. ठीक है, सो दीज आर द ऑल्सो इफ यू हैव अ क्वेश्चन लाइक इस रेक्टेंगल में कितने ट्राइंगल आ सकते हैं एंड ऑल ऑफ दीज, थोड़ा सा रीजनिंग कंसेप्ट. These are the only 4 kinds of questions that have been asked and will probably be asked as well, right? So practice these concepts and I hope you do good in your exam. Thank you so much for attending the video.